Welcome into the Blazers Uprise podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the dunk that didn't count. We're also going to be doing our picks against the spread, which we'll start off with. If you guys don't want to watch that segment, if you guys are watching this video after the fact, you can click ahead to a time that I'll timestamp in the comment section below. Will be the top comment. So that's for those of you who aren't participating with us live, but we're going to talk about we're going to do the picks against the spread. We're going to talk about the dunk that didn't count. And we're going to talk about this game that the Blazers are playing tonight against the Sacramento Kings. And that'll be our podcast for today. So I'm here with Eric Brandt, as always, my reliable, steady co-host.
What's up, man?
And we're ready to go for this. So waiting for chat to fill up. We got 4 people in here. I'm going to tweet this out right now. I don't know if there wasn't a notification or something that I don't know. Sometimes YouTube messes up and doesn't send out a notification, but usually we have a lot more people in here by now.
I didn't get a notification on my other account.
Okay, that's a bit strange. So I'll tweet it out. I'll tweet it out just so people can see this, because normally it sends a notification and people are quick to join. So there's the tweet. We'll wait a little bit, just for this thing to fill up, so that we have enough people to participate in our picks against the spread, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I guess we gotta fill some airtime. Just I don't know. We gotta fill some airtime somehow. So how's your day going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Did some grocery shopping earlier. That's about it.
What'd you get?
Just dinners for the rest of the week and stuff.
Yeah. Man, you're making me hungry after that. Eric's still waiting on his laptop. Excited for him to get that laptop and start making videos, maybe streaming. Did I mess up a setting on here? Okay, no, we got Dame Dalla in here. Still only got 3 people in here, so we might just have to have Dame Dalla make the picks. Cause I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we only got 3 in here, unless the viewer count is glitching.
Still haven't gotten a notification, and no one's commenting in chat, which is usually flowing by now.
I'll create a post on the community tab. I'll create a post on the community tab. I don't know why I did that, but... Alright, we got Gary in here, we got Commodore in here. What's up, guys? For some reason, didn't send out a notification for this podcast, so I just had to post it in the community tab. I posted a little link to share it. Hopefully, a notification for that might send out. I don't know, but you guys are gonna be probably the only people participating in our over-under. Dame Dollar said, saw it on your Twitter and had to jump in. Yeah, I don't know why people didn't get notified. We only got 4 people in here, which is very strange. If you're watching after the fact, you guys, it's still a normal podcast, so we'll still jump into it right now. But I don't know, it's not filling up like usual. But we'll jump into our over-under. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about that James Harden thing, and we'll preview the game tonight. So, we've got 10 games tonight. How did everybody do on what was it, Monday? On Monday,
there was only 6 games. Chat was 3-3. I was a very dismal 1-5, and you were 4-2 to get back into things.
Let's go. So our records overall, I think I tied you, right?
You're 41-42. I'm 42-41.
Okay.
And chat's 32-37. So old and steady.
We're evening things up here.
I lost my above 500 cushion, but hopefully I'll get that back tonight.
Yeah. So let's jump straight into it today. We got 10 games today.
Yep. First game is Golden State at Charlotte, and Charlotte's 2.5-point favorites.
I'm gonna go with Charlotte there.
I'm also going with Charlotte.
Went with Golden State on Monday, and it burned me.
Yeah.
So if let me just say this first, but if you guys are in chat, make your picks. Just say Charlotte or Golden State, or Hornets or Warriors. We're picking against the spread here, so the spread does matter. So make your picks for the chat. We'll probably just take the first team that has 2 votes, because we don't have a lot of people in here, and we'll do it like that. So.
All right, so we'll go Charlotte for chat.
Yep.
All right, so next game is Phoenix is 1.5 point favorites in Orlando tonight.
Phoenix. I'm rolling with Orlando there. I'm surprised that Phoenix is favored in Orlando. Phoenix has kind of come back down to earth a little bit. Magic are playing better. I'm taking the Magic there.
I'm also taking the Magic once again. Kind of crappy, mediocre teams. I'll take the home team getting points.
Yep.
You want to monitor chat and let me know who they pick?
Yeah, for sure. What's the next one?
Milwaukee is in Detroit, and Milwaukee is favored by 8.5.
I'm going to take Milwaukee there. They've been blowing out a lot of teams. Detroit's been struggling still. Detroit did win their last game. We got Orlando vote for the chat for the last game, but I'm taking Milwaukee against Detroit.
Okay. I'm also taking Milwaukee. That spread seems kind of low. All right, next game is Miami is in Boston, and Boston is 5.5 point favorites. I'm going to take the Heat just because they're 2 good teams. I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Heat as well. I'm not sure that Boston's better than them, and that's a pretty high spread just for simply having home court advantage, even though you're not the better team, so I'm going to take the Heat there as well.
Yeah. Okay.
We got Bucks for chat.
Okay. Next up, we have Brooklyn, 3.5 point favorites in Atlanta.
Kyrie's not back, is he?
I don't think he's playing tonight yet.
I'll take Brooklyn.
Okay.
Still, Atlanta's been struggling. I pick for Atlanta a lot, and usually it burns me. So.
I'm gonna take Atlanta. I can't stand Brooklyn's team, so.
Yeah, you've been hating on Brooklyn
since
from
the
the start.
Offseason,
Yep. We got 2 votes for Miami.
Okay. And then next game, Indiana is in OKC tonight, and OKC is favored by 1. So
I'm taking Indiana there. Indiana's the better team. I pick for Indiana a lot.
Yeah.
I have better luck with them than Atlanta. Chat voted for Atlanta last game. I'm rolling with Indiana for this one. Yeah. They're a better team.
I already had you marked down for Indiana. I knew you were going to.
Yeah.
I'm also going to pick them. It's basically a pick 'em, and OKC's not that good, so Indiana should win that game. And then
Trevin says my YouTube auto played into the stream. I didn't even get a notification. Yeah, I don't know what went on with that. Nice to know that a lot of people have the notifications turned on, because we would have like 45 people in here by now if it sent out a notification, but it didn't send out a notification. I don't know why. So yeah, I mean, I need to shout out my Twitter at TorJonesYT, because it's obvious if it didn't send out a notification. If that happens again, I'll just tweet out the stream. So
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Looks like Pacers.
Votes for Pacers. Yep. There we go.
Next is Memphis in Chicago, and Chicago is favored by 6.5. I'm going with Memphis just because 2 crappy teams. I'll take 6.5 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Chicago actually,
Okay.
which is probably surprising to you because I've been on the Memphis train without Morant. I don't like that team.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Minnesota in Dallas tonight, and Dallas is 4.5 point favorites.
Minnesota. I'm gonna take Dallas there.
Okay. I think Dallas played yesterday. Minnesota didn't.
Okay, that explains why the spread is lower than I expected.
I think Minnesota will come in and keep it close, so I'm going to take Minnesota getting the points.
Alrighty.
Do we have anyone answering for? We got Memphis. 2 Memphis.
We got 2 Dallas right there.
Okay. All right. Next up, is the Lakers in Utah tonight, and Utah is favored by 2.5.
Um, I'm gonna go with the Lakers there. Utah's been struggling, man. Utah's been struggling. I hope. I don't know who I want to win that game to because the Lakers might not, be catchable at this point, even though we're still early on in the season.
Yeah.
So might be rooting for the Lakers to win because Utah is a team that is catchable. But I think the Lakers will end up winning this game by 8 to 10 points. I would have taken Lakers with the higher spread than that. Rolling with the Lake Show.
Well, it's actually Utah that's favored, so Lake.
Oh wow, I thought Lakers were favored.
No,
yeah.
Utah's favored by 2.5, so you could actually have Utah win by up to 2 and still win.
Yeah, I think Lakers will win easily, honestly. So,
and then
easy pick.
Last game of the night is Sacramento Kings at our Portland Trail Blazers, and the Blazers are 5.5-point favorites. And Fox and Bagley are out. Bogdanovich is questionable.
Bogdanovich is a Blazer killer, man.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play, that's huge. I'm gonna take Portland.
Okay.
I think that might be the first time I voted for Portland all season long.
No, you voted for him against OKC. It was only 3-point spread.
And that worked out for me.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that worked out for me. I'm gonna take the Blazers here. They're not wearing their red jerseys, which they always lose in, so that's a plus. Jason Jensen says LeBron and AD will accidentally break each other at the rim. Interesting. Yeah, I'm rolling with Blazers. I assume you're doing the same.
Yep. So we got Lakers for the other game, and then Blazers for this one. All right.
And then I'd put chat down for Blazers. They always vote Blazers, and this is the game to vote Blazers. So.
Yeah, I think we'll get to this later, but the Blazers are going to come out and play well tonight, I think.
Yep. Alrighty, so that is the timestamp will be around 13 or something. I'll post that. But we gotta move on and talk about this. And I titled this for a reason because this is a very interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting development. You told me about it on our post-game stream last night, and I watched it on stream. So James Harden had a dunk. I wish I could show the clip, but I can't show the clip because it would get copyright claimed. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go on Twitter and watch this clip. But James Harden had a dunk during the fourth quarter of yesterday's game between the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. And the dunk ended up going in, but the way it went through the net, it wrapped the ball up over the rim again, very quickly, and it looked like the ball rattled out, even though it went through the net.
Yeah.
This bucket didn't end up counting. Okay, so what I thought was interesting was James Harden went after the ball right afterwards.
Right.
But he was adamant that he made it. When arguing with the refs after the fact, but he went after the ball. DeJounte Murray went after the ball like it was a rebound, like it was still a live ball, and the refs didn't call anything. By the time it got reviewed, or by the time it was able to get reviewed, it apparently wasn't reviewable anymore, so they couldn't add the points,
right.
Which I thought was kind of a silly thing. Why is there a statute of limitations on a bucket? It doesn't make much sense to me. But so that's the backstory with that. And this game went into double overtime, and the Rockets lost. So these 2 points mattered.
I think it was the fact that the Rockets could have challenged if they called a timeout immediately when they got the ball back, and then challenged it. But
are you sure about that? Because you can't challenge a missed call, can you?
The refs were saying that they didn't call a timeout immediately, and they let the time period elapse before they could challenge. So when they started arguing with it at the next timeout, I guess it was too late to challenge it, is what the ref said, at least. I don't know if that's...
The fact that they had to challenge that, though,
right.
is a bit ridiculous.
Well, it's ridiculous they're protesting the game, too.
It is. And I will, I have the same opinion on that. But first off, How do you not know the ball went through the rim when the net got wrapped up around the rim? Like, how else would the net get wrapped around the rim if the ball didn't go through the net? Maybe they thought like Harden
His hand
hit
or
the
something.
net.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why what they thought made the net wrap around the rim. But like, I don't know how you can run into a net and make it wrap around the rim.
Right.
They should have realized that. I don't know. Like, the fact that they didn't think the ball went in was kind of silly to me. Like, NBA refs have to see a lot of like ticky-tack fouls. Like they have to see a lot that happens on the floor. The fact that they couldn't see the ball go through the rim there was a bit silly. Like, it looked very, very strange. But it still looked like, okay, that ball probably went in to me. Like, I have to watch it back, but
Well,
I also knew the ball went in, which helped. But
you have 3 refs on the court. Like, you'd think one of them would have seen it.
yeah, so it's just a super silly situation. But I mean, you look at. Let's put it this way. There's calls throughout a game where players get 2 free throws on a call that maybe shouldn't have been a foul and should have been the ball going the other way, and they score 2 free throws. Or vice versa, they get fouled and should get 2 free throws, and they don't. The ball goes the other way. They don't get 2 free throw opportunities that they deserved. How is this that much different? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it was an automatic fast break bucket for James Harden, but there's missed calls all game long that affect the point total. There's human error involved in the game. This is just another one of those plays.
Someone said that, or posted a video of Harden stepping on the baseline on one of his buckets too. So the refs missed that one. It's like,
there you go.
So if you just call that, it evens out, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there you go. There's human error in the game, and especially it's ironic that it happened to the Houston Rockets, and it's ironic that it happened to James Harden, who's helped out by the refs more than any player in the NBA. He shot 24 free throws yesterday in a loss. So I thought that was funny. It was ironic. Also, I think it's silly for the Houston Rockets to challenge that call, because they blew a 22-point lead.
Right.
They blew I don't know what the lead was in the fourth quarter. I think it was like they blew a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. Like, you got to hang on to that lead. There's no excuse. I know they didn't count those 2 points, and but also, if he did make that dunk, maybe San Antonio comes back and wins a regulation. You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, a butterfly effect. It changes things. You don't know if Houston would have won or lost. I also don't think they should replay the last 8 minutes of that game. That's too much time to replay for a human error call like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, the NBA admits mistakes in the final 2-minute report of games where refs made mistakes in the last 2 minutes. They don't replay those the last 2 minutes if there's a mistake with 2 minutes to go. So you're gonna replay the last 8 minutes because there was a mistake on a bucket like that? You're gonna erase what Lonnie Walker did, because Lonnie Walker had 28 points. You're gonna erase. It's not even erasing only 8 minutes. It's erasing 8 minutes and 2 overtimes. So it's erasing 18 minutes of game action, pretending like it never happened.
Right.
Okay. And if you're replaying it on a different day, the Rockets were in the middle of a collapse there. Their 22-point lead had gotten cut down to 13. Westbrook was bricking. Westbrook had a horrible game yesterday. He was typical Russell Westbrook, shooting a bunch of horrible shots. At one point, he was 6 for 26. I don't know what he finished, but he shot them out of the game. And if you replay that on a different day, those teams are going to be in a different state of mind. It's going to be hard for San Antonio to get up for that game, feeling like, oh, we have to replay a game we felt like we won.
And that's a big win for them for how bad they're struggling and stuff to beat Houston. So
yeah. So should not be replayed. Houston should have never blown that lead. Ref should have never made that mistake. It's just a silly situation all around from multiple parties there.
Yeah, I completely agree. If they could replay it, I'd be more mad than I am about the missed call, I think.
Exactly, man. Imagine being a San Antonio Spurs fan, or imagine if this play happened against the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so bad. Like, okay, you're gonna count the bucket that James Harden stepped out of bounds on. Then, like, I don't know if that was after this dunk or before this dunk. But that's the thing. They're not gonna take away that bucket, even though they obviously missed that call as well. So, like, where does it stop? You know what I mean? I know this is a different type of missed call than we pretty much ever see, but where does that stop?
Yeah, exactly. And you have the coach's challenge now. Like I said, they should have called the timeout right away and challenged it. But yeah.
Easiest challenge to win.
Yeah.
If you're a head coach, the ball went in, the rest don't think it did, but you saw the ball went in. That's the easiest call to challenge. You should be challenging it within 5 seconds.
Right.
I think D'Antoni might have thought that the refs were going to review that play or something.
Yeah,
I
probably.
thought D'Antoni maybe thought the refs were going to handle it, or he might not have thought that was something that he could challenge. So I don't know there, man. It's just something that I hope doesn't result in the last 8 minutes being replayed. I hope that this doesn't go anywhere. It shouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Part of that is a little bit biased because I want to see the Rockets lose, and I can't stand the Rockets. But I feel like if it was, two Eastern Conference teams I don't care about in this situation, I would have the same opinion on this.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's just silly to replay that much time. And it's not like an official, I guess they've replayed a couple games in the past where someone has incorrectly fouled someone out and it completely changed the game. But
they replayed like 30 seconds,
yeah.
though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just a weird situation there.
Yep.
What do you guys think on that, chat? Let me know. I'm interested to see what you guys think on that. Westbrook, most rated player. I assume you mean most overrated player. Westbrook shot them out of that game, man. Do you know what he finished from the field?
I think someone just said he was 4 for 24.
No, he was 6 for 26 at one point.
Oh, okay.
That I saw.
Dane Dahl has got some incorrect information then.
Let me look it up, 'cause I'm curious what he shot from the field. Because it was bad. And any chance I get to clown Russell Westbrook, I'm gonna do so.
And Westbrook is I kind of thought this way about the Rockets heading into the season, that the Rockets should do very well in the regular season, but he's the kind of player that's going to shoot them out of games in the playoffs, and that'll be great to see.
Oh, it will be. And James Harden won't get those same foul calls at the same time too,
right?
Which is important to remember. Russell Westbrook was 7 for 30 yesterday, but he had a triple double, 19, 10, and 10. You know what I mean? I'm glad that because this game from him 3 years ago would have been hyped up by media, like, oh, triple double. Now he's had games like this so much that like people realize he didn't have a good game. He shot them out of that game.
Yeah.
So like, who cares about his triple double? James Harden shot 11 for 38, but he had 50 points because he shot 24 free throws and made them all.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous, shooting 24 free throws, man. That's the thing. In the playoffs, Harden's not going to be getting 24 free throws in a game like this.
Didn't Capella have like a 2020 game too?
Capella had 22 points, 21 rebounds, shot 9 for 9 from the field. Had more field goals than Russell Westbrook on 21 less shots.
Yeah, if we were Rockets fans, we'd probably be asking why he's not getting more.
I mean, I don't think Westbrook fits with this team,
Yeah.
man. I mean, and then also it's interesting to look at the Rockets bench. Austin Rivers played 40 minutes off the bench. Their next player, and there was 58 minutes of game action. Remember this. Their next player, Chris Clemens, played 11 minutes. Gary Clark played 8 minutes. Chandler played 7 minutes. Cephalosha played 3 minutes.
Yeah,
they didn't have Daniel House, but like that team doesn't have much of a bench too.
D'Antoni's doing what he did last year and only going with like 7 and 8 man rotations if you can. Obviously, when you go into overtime, you need a little more, but it hasn't proven to be effective once you get to playoffs if you run your guys out. That's what we've been saying about Dame all year, right?
Mm-hmm. PJ Tucker ended up playing 52 minutes. Yeah, so I mean, like, Houston kind of kind of blew this game. When you combine Westbrook and Harden, they shot 18 for 68. All right, so I don't want to hear excuses from Rockets fans. I don't. They should have not shot 18 for 68. They shouldn't have blown a 22-point lead. If that was my team, I wouldn't be out there protest this game, fix this result. Like, you blew a 22-point lead, man. You blew a 22-point lead, and you got so many calls. Your best player shooting 24 free throws. Like, it's sad, man. It's sad, but
I want to say it's like 5 to 8 games now that I think it's 5 that Capella's had over 19 rebounds.
Capella's solid, man. Capella's solid, and he's playing with the right players to get him good stats. We can also look at NBA scores right now quickly before we talk about this game tonight for us. Hornets and Warriors. Hornets are up 1. We vote on these games. For those of you who don't know, when we do the spread picks, we don't know the scores of any games that are already live. We don't check scores, until after we do that segment, because I know a lot of times the podcast starts at a time when games are already started. So we don't pay any attention to scores. We don't look up scores. But we can look at them right now after the fact, see how we're doing so far. Hornets 50, Warriors 49, so that game's up in the air on that spread. Bucks are up 9 with 4 minutes left against the Pistons. That's looking good for me. Magic are up 4 against the Suns. That game's up in the air. Heat are up 6 against the Celtics, so that's looking good for me. Me and you, we both picked the Heat there. And the Hawks are up 4 against the Nets. I ended up rolling with the Hawks for once, so we'll see how those games pan out. I think it's going to be a lot good close finishes to some of these games tonight.
You went with Brooklyn in that game.
No, I didn't. I went with Atlanta.
No, you said you were sick of picking Atlanta and you were going to take Brooklyn.
No, I never pick Atlanta. I said Atlanta.
We'll have to go back and look at the tape.
I said it. Dude's trying to change my pick.
No, you picked Brooklyn.
He's trying to change. Atlanta's up 4. No, you pick. When you hear Atlanta's up 4, no, you picked Brooklyn. You picked Brooklyn, man. No, I didn't. I never pick it. I never pick Atlanta.
You said during that game that...
Did I pick Brooklyn or Atlanta? Maybe I did pick
You
Brooklyn.
said Atlanta's been burning you because you've been picking them every time, so you're going to pick Brooklyn.
I don't know,
it's on
man.
video.
We'll
just go back and look at it.
We gotta check the tape on that one.
Yeah.
Chat, let me know. Am I wrong, chat, or am I right? Did I pick Atlanta or Brooklyn? Because I swear this man be like changing my picks. I'm catching up to him. I'm a game behind him right now. I need to I don't know, that spreadsheet he got. Easy to fudge my record. I'm probably
I would never do that.
60-20 right now,
Gary,
to be honest.
Gary says you chose Brooklyn.
Did I?
You're the one trying to change after you see Atlanta's winning.
No, I mean that they're up 4. You know what I mean?
Know.
That spread is 1 point, so I mean it doesn't even matter. I'm tripping then. I thought I picked Atlanta.
See, that's the thing about YouTube, though. All our picks are on video, so we can go back if you think...
You chose South of Toronto. I mean, I believe chat. You know what I mean? Chat wouldn't lie to me. I don't think you would lie to me either,
man.
Yeah, I know. I just... Dude, I swore I took Atlanta. That's so weird.
What's going to happen is Brooklyn's going to come back and win by 10, and then you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I definitely picked Brooklyn.
No, I honestly thought I picked Atlanta. I'm not kidding. I honestly thought I picked Atlanta. Shout out we finally got 30 people in here. YouTube didn't send out the notification for this. I don't know why. Might not have appeared in your guys' inboxes right away. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Just make sure to follow me on Twitter at ToryJonesYT. You can also turn on tweet notifications as well, where you get a notification whenever I tweet something out. But I do tweet a lot, especially during games, so that might be a little bit extra for you guys, a little bit too much for you guys to have tweet notifications turned on. But just around 4, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's usually when we go live with this podcast. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, and if a notification doesn't get sent out, we can tell because this chat did not fill up like it usually does. So I'll tweet it out. tweet out the podcast when we go live, just to make up for that. Because I don't know what happened with YouTube, but it was a problem. But it's nice to see that we got it a little bit fuller in here. So anyway, last topic we got for today. Blazers play the Sacramento Kings, and it's their third game against the Sacramento Kings. It's December 4th, and we're already playing our third game against Sacramento. Thought that was a bit interesting. I've noticed that a lot of games are kind of clumped together.
Yeah.
The Bulls games were clumped together. We play the Thunder again a couple games from now. We've already played the Clippers twice. And the Kings, we've already played them twice. And later on in the schedule, it's like that too. I think we play New Orleans and then Memphis and then New Orleans after the All-Star break. We have a lot of clumped together games, which I don't like because I like playing just a variety of teams. And it's like we just saw this team twice. So, we just saw the Kings twice and we saw the Thunder twice already. So, I don't like that. But anyway, we're pretty familiar with the Kings at this point.
Right.
Something important to note, which you noted earlier, Bogdanovich is questionable, and that's a Blazer killer. There's those classic guys that always overachieve against the Portland Trailblazers.
So
you got an update?
As of 5 minutes ago, Bogdanovich is out tonight.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Because Bogdanovich is a Blazer killer, and they rely on him a lot with Fox and Bagley out, and Bogdanovich has been playing really, really solidly lately. He kind of struggled to start the year, but he's been really, really good lately. So he's out. De'Aaron Fox is still out. Marvin Bagley is still out, which we haven't seen Marvin Bagley all year, even though this is our third meeting against them. So this is a game the Blazers have to win.
Yes.
Have to win. I don't care if it's the second night of a back-to-back. You're playing against a team that is missing 3 of its 4 best players, in my opinion.
Yep.
Maybe you'd put Harrison Barnes above Bogdanovich, but I think they're about equal. So that's like 3 of their top 4 or 5 players that they're missing. If we struggle, I don't want to hear the excuse of, we don't have Zach Collins and we don't have Yusuf Nurkic. They don't have De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, and Bogdanovich. Blazers had been playing a better style of basketball before that Clippers game last night, which they reverted back to a poor style of basketball and got called out on national TV by Chris Webber, which I like that a national media member is willing to call out our offense and our lack of ball movement. It was kind of interesting to see how Blazer fans were split on Chris Webber yesterday. Some people were saying, he's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even listen to this guy, blah, blah. And some people were like, he's 100% right. He's spitting facts about the team. You know what I mean? You could kind of tell like where people's opinions lied on that. Never nice to hear somebody trashing the team, but he's right. And I think Stotts doesn't get enough like blame in terms of national media. So, and I agree with him. We have a talented team right now. It's our style of play. But that's what I'm saying, man. We just have to play a decent basketball game, and we should easily handle this team.
I think we're used to a lot of national media just praising what a good coach Stotts is and never questioning anything he does, kind of like some of the media around here. But I don't understand why people didn't like what Chris Webber was saying. If it was just a matter of the truth hurts kind of thing, but I saw a lot of people on Twitter, posting numbers about how assists don't translate into wins and stuff like that. But it's not just assists that we're talking about. It's the possessions without even anyone touching the ball. We've talked about this several times about how when everyone touches the ball in an offensive possession, it just keeps them more into the game, more engaged. Next time they get the ball, they won't be surprised, or there won't be as much pressure because they handle the ball in every possession, And
exactly, I couldn't stand those arguments, man, because it was so devoid of context.
Right.
So you're providing a proper context there.
And so it's not just about an assist, but it's like if you can't understand how. If the ball swings around the perimeter and you get an open 3 compared to someone shooting a 3 with a guy in their face without passing, how that can be better for your basketball team, then I don't know how to explain it any clearer than that, how good passing is for a team. Exactly.
I mean, like I'd like to see, and that's the thing, that there's no correlation in regards to the average among all NBA teams. In regards to our team, man, we're a lot better when we move the ball.
Right.
And I think that's obvious from watching the team. And so, like, you can paint any picture you want to by like cherry picking certain stats or like like only looking for certain things statistically, avoiding proper context, not watching the game. It's obvious watching this team. They're better when they move the ball. They're better offensively when they move the ball. That 3-game stretch, I know it was against 3 bad teams, but they're better because they were moving the ball. They were making more shots. So there might be a correlation with our team because that all the arguments I saw was just, across all 30 teams on average, amongst all of them, there's no correlation between assists and shooting better from the field. But that doesn't mean that that's not the case for our team.
And two, like, all you have to do is look in the first quarter of some of these games where we did have a lot of ball movement, and it's obvious that the sorry, I've got some sound issues going on here.
It's all good. It's not as bad as it's been in the past.
Anyways, like the first quarters against San Antonio, the one against OKC where we scored 42 points, like everyone was making the extra pass. No one was going ISO. And it's that much more important. I hate when people are saying, oh, we played a good defense, that's why we didn't move the ball. Like, no, that's why you should move the ball, is because
if we were making an effort to move the ball, like it would have been we didn't really make much of an effort to move the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got taken out of our comfort zone a little bit, and we reverted back to bad habits. If we got taken out of our comfort zone a little bit, but still tried to play a good brand of basketball, it would have been fine. You know what I mean? Then we could say, oh, it's just a good defense. We were still trying to move the ball, and they defended us well. I don't think that was the case. I think we just didn't really move the ball. We didn't really make much of an effort once taken out of our comfort zone to move the ball. It seemed like we were settling for a bunch of shots. We had a bunch of possessions where we didn't have a pass, that type of thing.
Yeah. So those people are basically saying that it's a better strategy to go one-on-one versus guys like Kawhi Leonard and Mo Harkless and Paul George instead of trying to move the ball around and get an open shot. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, you want to do the opposite of that. You want to get it away from the guys guarding them and get open shots. So it's even more important to move the ball against teams that are good defending.
Yeah. So, yeah, 100% agree on that. So that's what I'm going to be looking for tonight is a better brand of basketball. Also, I want to see them play with a little bit more of a spark. They're on a second night of a back-to-back, so that might be a bit difficult, but they are at home, which can be uplifting, of course. They didn't really play with much of a spark last night. So I want to see them play with the spark, their defensive rotations to be better, and for them to move the ball. Because if they do those things, they can have a bad shooting night, and I feel like they'll still easily win this game. You know what I mean? And I feel like if they are moving the ball, they're not going to have that bad of a shooting night because everybody gets involved, and the team has shown that they shoot better when they're moving the ball like that. And we'll be able to get more easy shots inside, which are the most consistent shot because it's not a jump shot. So, interior shots are the most consistent shots. So if the shots aren't falling, we got to move the ball, try and get inside. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to score against this team. They're starting Corey Joseph, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Bielitsa, and Rashawn Holmes. None of those guys are standout defenders at all. Their bench is probably worse than ours, and we have one of the worst scoring benches in the league. Their bench without Bogdanovich, I don't know what that looks like. Their best player off the bench is probably Dwayne Dedman, and they got Yogi Ferrell, and you got Harry Giles. And who am I missing, man? I'm trying to think of people off the bench, but they got 3 big players out. So
without all those guys out. Did you say Ariza? I didn't.
Oh, Ariza, who hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Ariza's washed up at this point. That bench isn't better than our bench.
No.
Our bench is better than that bench, which is saying something.
I know. Our bench has been playing like crap lately, too.
So Yeah, I'm hoping to see Simons get going. He was 5 for 12 yesterday, which is a better shooting clip than he's had. As I said, we got to take our lumps with him. But he's going to be playing against a poor Kings second unit, so I'm hoping to see Simons get going and build some confidence and kind of bust out of his slump, because he's in a shooting slump. He's not this bad of a shooter as he's been shooting lately. He's a better shooter than that. I know he's not proven. That's just my opinion, man. He's just a better shooter than how he's been shooting. He's in a slump. So I'm hoping to see him bust out.
Well, yeah, if he was 1 for 5 on threes, so if he just made 1 3 more and was 2 for 5, then he'd be 6 for 12 overall, and would have had like 18 points or something with 6 assists. Like, that would have been a pretty good game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he just needs a couple to fall in a row, and he'll be fine.
But something I do want to bring up that I found interesting. So we have a guy we both know who's pretty well versed on basketball, and he posted something about he has a friend who had 2 relatives that coached high level college basketball, and like, I don't know. You know what post I'm talking about, Eric? It was TB.
Yeah.
What exactly did he say? It was something about how, like, he was talking to a guy that was like very, very well versed and very, very educated on the types of offenses that the NBA runs. Like, basically so well educated that he knows like what coaches stole what offensive structure from who, where they started their coaching career, who they were assistants of, and what they kept in their system once they became a head coach, what they kept from their previous employment, things like that. Doing a bad job. Your job is setting this up, but basically, he was talking to. We have a friend who was talking to a guy who's very well versed on NBA offense, and apparently this guy was trashing Stotts' offensive system. Apparently, it was like one of the worst in the league. Doesn't set up his players for success given how talented the players he has are. I'm doing a horrible job. I had to explain this. I apologize, but
I'm trying to find.
I don't know. Yeah, because I can't switch off my screen here, or else I would have. But I want you to read that out, because I thought that was a very interesting post, and this dude doesn't lie. You know what I mean? So this is 100% true. Let me know when you find it. I just thought it was interesting because a lot of people that have played basketball or coached high level basketball hate Stotts' offensive system. That doesn't mean to say that if you like Stotts' offensive system that you're not educated or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to imply that, but it seems like a lot of educated people are starting to really hate Stotts' offense. Look at Chris Webber, man. You think that guy doesn't know what he's talking about? Blazer fans are sitting here saying that dude doesn't know what he's talking about. But he knows what he sees, and he knows basketball. You know what I mean? He might not know, how we played the last game because he doesn't watch us, but he can see what's in front of his eyes.
Yeah. And that's 2 out of the last like 5 or 6 games that he's commented like that. All right.
Exactly.
So I found it. So he said, 2 people who have been involved with the NBA coaching at one point, and who played for a national ranked college team as well. And then he said that they believe the Blazers' schemes on offense and defense are some of the worst in the league, given the talent they have on their roster, regardless of injuries. It was quite the breakdown of team sets around the league and how Blazers fall well short in many areas. Quite enlightening.
Yeah. That was the post I was talking about. It was very interesting to read, man. And that's the thing. That's just what I've been saying all season long. You know what I mean? That's been my opinion all season long. And to hear, people who have been involved with NBA coaching, who have played high-level college basketball, basically say the same thing is, I mean, I'm not saying I'm right, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm putting down here, but hopefully...
Brian Scalabrini asked if we saw Kevin Calabro's response to Chris Webber. I missed that. What did he say, Brian?
Yeah, you gotta clue us in on this because this will be interesting as well. But that's what I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with that whole thing. I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that with you guys. I should have had you look up the tweet right away instead of trying to paraphrase it without fully remembering. But yeah, man. I'll see you later. I'm bringing chili. Hopefully see you tonight, man, because we'll be doing a post game stream. Should be live right after the game this time.
And hopefully Tori's internet doesn't cut out.
Yeah, that was rough last night. I don't know why that happened. It literally it wasn't because sometimes it stutters, sometimes it lags for 5 seconds, which will happen. It completely cut out last night. That's why the post game stream ended, because I wanted to chill in there a little bit longer, and it literally just cut me off from the stream and disconnected my software from the stream. I literally couldn't stream. So hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. But
Trevon asked if we saw the fast break. You missed this one. So Bazemore got a steal in the second half, and Little was running right with him, next to him. And Bazemore kind of looks at him, and I thought for a second he was going to dump it to him so Little could get a dunk. But then Bazemore just took it in right next to him and dunked it. It was like a 2-on-0 fast break.
yeah,
I'll never criticize one play like that because there's lots of times where someone goes in and does that. Pretty much everyone in the NBA has done that at some point, and there's lots of players who will just give it up to their teammate there too. So one incident of that is hard to tell if that's a pattern or if it's just one play or if it's a bigger issue. But it was kind of funny. I did notice that during the time. I was like, man, why didn't he give it to Little there? That would have been a nice moment for him to share the ball, get an assist, and see a cool dunk or something,
Yeah. I'm trying to look up this Kevin Calabro thing. I'm on its Twitter right now. I'm waiting for Brian Scalabrine to clue us in on that. Here's the tweet. Kevin Calabro tweeted, C-Web, you do know the Blazers are without Nurkic and Collins, right? 2 excellent screen setters and pick and roll threats. Might have something to do with the ISO ball track you're on. God, man. God, dude. Kevin Calabro should not be calling out Chris Webber.
Right.
In terms of a basketball conversation. Let's just say that. I know Calabro's our guy and Chris Webber's a national media guy, but Chris Webber knows much more about basketball than Kevin Calabro. I'm going to take the opinion of the guy who played in the NBA for 10 years. You know what I mean? Well,
it's just another Blazer media guy supporting thoughts.
I'm so sick of it, man. I'm so sick of that being an excuse. We don't move the ball because
that doesn't
we don't have as good of screens as we could if we had these guys. So,
and it doesn't explain the lack of ball movement with those guys the last 3 years. Prior to this, I guess Colin's only been
exactly.
for 2 years,
Exactly. It's such a lame excuse, man. I'm sick and tired of seeing that as an excuse. Oh, we have Carmelo Anthony and Hassan Whiteside instead of Zach Collins and Yusuf Nurkic. That's why our ball movement is last in the league instead of good. That sounds so stupid.
We didn't have him in the how many assists did we have against OKC in the first quarter? 12 or something.
Exactly.
We had 9 on our first 10 baskets or something.
Because we
didn't have Nurkic or Collins in that game.
Oh, dude, I'm so sick. I'm so sick of it, man. Russell Westbrook is getting sick of it, too. He feels what I'm feeling, man. A shout out to Brian Scalabrine for posting in the chat. I just went on Twitter and read it, but I appreciate you posting that and bringing that to our attention because I didn't see that. I don't follow Calabro on Twitter. I'm not a Calabro fan. You know what I mean? He's fine as a commentator, but, bro, that's such a... I mean,
yeah.
Lamar Hurd, I've heard Lamar Hurd, literally, you could tell, there's times where Lamar Hurd wants to say, they're not moving the ball, and everybody's standing around, and this isn't working for him, but, I feel like he feels like he can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so he kind of refrains from saying that, and you could kind of sense that in a way.
And Russell, first round exit Westbrook, is also has a good point too. And I saw this a lot on Twitter. People saying we don't have a good pick and roll threat right now. And the problem with that is just because you run pick and roll doesn't mean you're passing to the roll guy, right? It still could lead to ISO and not passing the ball and lack of ball movement, even if you're getting good screens. Because if you're setting balls off screen that are really well and getting guys open, but you're not passing to them, if you're just because like some of those possessions, I don't mean to single out CJ, but like there's times where he's going to shoot the ball no matter who is open or what the situation is. And that doesn't change whether there's good off the ball screens or he gets a pick or whatever happens. Like it doesn't really matter what the personnel is on the court.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of the times when we're standing around, we're setting no screens. So I mean, how is our screen setting the factor there? It's just ridiculous, man. I'm so sick of these excuses, dude. I'm not a fan of Blazers media, man. I'm not going to turn this into a huge rant about local media like I have done in the past, but I'm not a fan of Blazers media for stuff like that. So we'll be the black sheep. We'll be the people that are willing to call it like it is instead of making weak ass excuses like that. Because Chris Webber was last. What? Chris Webber was right last night. Whether you like it or not, he was right last night.
And
that's it.
Claver would be right if the ball movement had been great up until this year, and then not having Nurk led to us being last in assists, but we were like middle of the pack or something last year. But we're always near the into the NBA. So yeah, it's just all right. Sorry, Trevin. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, come on, Eric. Eric's pronunciation. Hey, you guys have heard Eric mispronounce Bielitsa, Anunoby. What else?
On a new boy.
And in you. That was funny though. Oh man, say Valanciunas.
Valanciunas.
Okay, there you go. That's you passed.
Well, it's easy to say it right after you pronounce it.
Yeah, could you say it without me pronouncing it? I could even. I'm mispronouncing everything right now. I shouldn't even be talking, but I got Trevin's name right.
I don't have issues with the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, Jonas Bro.
The Jonas. Yeah, who's his brother there?
Never mind.
You guys can correct us if we're saying names wrong, because like Alvaro Bazan, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm saying that.
I bet
right.
That's Alvaro.
Bazin. Alvaro Bazin.
Alvaro Bazan.
But he said people were acting like this wasn't happening when Nurk and Zach were healthy. Exactly, man. But yeah, you guys can correct your name so that when I do shout out something you say during the stream, I can actually say, all right, give you the proper credit, so to say.
Oh man, let's not talk about Couch Street versus Cooch Street. Russell Westbrook.
Shoot, saying it like that might get me demonetized. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's how it is. That's how you pronounce it. But
yeah, I know. But you know, YouTube like looks for like certain words and pronunciations.
He's trying to get us in trouble, man.
Yeah, no, I know, man. Jersey Mike's Giant on my desk. What did I miss? You missed. I don't know how much you missed. How would I know how much you missed? You just made me hungry though. I haven't had Jersey Mike's in a while. I'm gonna have to go get some food. I'm gonna have to wrap up this podcast. About an hour long podcast. So
speaking of Alvaro though, he asked earlier what our panic level's at, and I'm not panicked at all right now. If we lose this game, I'll be in full.
We'll see tonight. We'll readdress that tonight. Because if we lose this game, it'll be.
I'm on record as saying I'll be in full panic mood if we lose this game tonight.
That'll be bad.
Pretty upset. So
that'll be bad. But yeah, so we'll catch you guys tonight with that post game show. Should be live right after the game. I will tweet that out if you guys don't get a notification. But after the game, you can always check your subscription box because there's no reason why it shouldn't be showing up there. I don't know what happened today with the lack of notifications. But if you're just tuning in right now, you can rewatch the podcast as always. So with that being said, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are right there for you guys to see. I'll be live tweeting the game tonight. I'll be watching the entire thing. I won't have a rec league game to go lose like I did last night. Lost by 2 last night. That was super frustrating. Even though I dropped a solid 40 piece. I literally dropped 40 points and lost by 2. That was rough. But don't have to deal with that tonight. Tuesdays and Thursdays might be rough for post-game streams from here on.
I got you, though.
That's where my rec league is. But we should have Eric with his brand new laptop ready to go in case I can't hop on right away. So hopefully every post-game stream from here on out will be live right after the game. So anyway, see you after the win. Don't jinx us first last. But yeah, we should win this game. I'm knocking on wood. My desk is oak wood, so it's good to knock on there. So yeah, wrapping this up. We'll catch you guys tonight. I'll have Eric on. You're becoming a consistent contributor on the postgame show. That's kind of like our thing, and I don't, we'll have guests in the future, but inviting you on pretty much everyone because the people want to see Eric Brandt.
Well, they don't get to see me, just hear me, but yeah.
Yeah, the people want Eric Brandt. So we'll bring him in on pretty much every post game show.
Thanks, man.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do a post game show by myself. So
yeah.
So anyway, that wraps up this podcast. Long outro over. We'll see you guys tonight. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.